is Rot-Curse Rakshasa on a budget? Let's play some Demon Stompy and try to find out. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffrada with, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading to our new Tarkir Dragonstorm standard format to play some Demon Stompy. I think that Rot-Curse Rakshasa gotta be one of the best cards in the set, and I really want to check it out, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. The best part, the deck is under $100 in paper, 16 ticks on Magic Online, and not super expensive on Magic Arena either. So let's talk about this deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So the reason we're playing this deck is Rot-Curse Rakshasa, our new 2-mana 5/5 trampling demon that unfortunately has Decayed, so it can't block, and if it attacks, we had to sack it at the end of combat. But it also has Renew, so for double black and X, we can exile it from the graveyard to put a Decay counter on each of X target creatures. So I feel like this card is straight up absurd. We can play it, smash in for some damage with it thanks to Trample, and it being super far above the curve. And then later, once we're ready to win the game, we can just renew it, exile it from the graveyard, make it so our opponent's team can't block, swing in the rest of our creatures, and kill our opponent on the spot. The other thing that Rot-Curse Rakshasa does is supports our demon package. So we've seen Unholy Annex be a really strong card in standard. The 3-mana mode gives you card draw, and if you have a demon, it drains your opponent out of the game. The big mode makes a demon. In Rot-Curse Rakshasa is the new best demon for this, right? Because it's only a 2-drop. So we can play Rot-Curse Rakshasa on turn 2, turn 3 play Unholy Annex, and oddly choose not to attack with Rot-Curse Rakshasa and just have it sit out on the battlefield so it's draining for 2 and drawing his cards each turn with Unholy Annex. We also get Archfiend of the Draws as a backup demon, just another massive flyer that works well with Unholy Annex. So this is the demon package of our deck. The rest of the deck, it's basically a curve out style deck. So for 1-drops, we got Call Conscript, can come back from the graveyard. One of Valve Sleeper, which I kind of forgot this card was still in standard. It's been so long. It used to be really good like 2.5 years ago, but it's still solid. It levels up, eventually can draw some cards. In the 2-drop slot, alongside Rakshasa, Deep Cavern Bat to pick apart our opponent's hand. Sinkhole Survey, another new card. Curious to see how good this one is. 2-mana 1/3 flyer that when it attacks, we get to lose a life and endure 1. So we either grow it or we can make a 1/1 token. Seems really good if it sticks out. We'll see how often it actually stays on the battlefield. In the 3-drop slot, Unstoppable Slasher is just the most aggro 3-drop that exists in standard. Like, if we can get in 1 attack with this, which helps that it has Death Touch, making it kind of tricky to block, we make our opponent lose half their life, so this can take a massive chunk out of our opponent's life total in a single attack. Quasi-Revenant, another new card. It's our new super Vampire Nighthawk, 3-mana 3/3 flying Death Touch lifelinker that we can also renew from the graveyard to give something else those abilities. 1 Preacher of the Schism for more card draw. Removal-wise, some cut downs, some go for the throats. Mana base is simple as possible, 24 swamps, so super cheap, super simple. In the sideboard, a bunch more removal for aggro. Curious about Strategic Betrayal. That's another new card. 2-mana sorcery. Target opponent exiles a creature they control in their graveyard. So we're playing this as kind of like a bad removal spell that's also graveyard hate. Gonna be interesting to see if it's good enough at either of those jobs to actually be a sideboard staple. A couple of sweepers and Choking Miasma, Gix's Command, and then for control and mid-range decks, a bunch of Duresses, some Pilfers to pick apart their hand. And that is Budget Rakshasa Demon Stompy for standard. That's our budget magic deck for today, so let's jump into some games and see just how good Rot-Curse Rakshasa and these other new black cards are in Tarkir Dragonstorm standard. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. Budget magic time. We are playing some Demon Stompy in standard. Playing some Rot-Curse Rakshasa. I do love saying that now that I say it correctly, almost. This hand's got a lot of unstoppable slashers, which hopefully is good. We'll see what our opponent's up to. It looks like probably Domain, considering the triomes, but let's get down to slasher. I mean, if we're up against Domain, our goal is going to be to try to win kind of quickly, because we're not going to win the late game against Domain, but we might be able to get the aggro win. This is one of the decks you want to beat, right? If you look at standard. All right, there's a Leyline Binding. Definitely a Domain deck of some kind. Well, Slasher 1 down. Oh, there's our Rakshasa. But I think we just play Archfiend. If we play Archfiend this turn, next turn we can Slasher and Rakshasa. That does set us up to get blown out by a Sunfall, but we gotta be aggro. We gotta be the aggro. After we get to sideboarding, we have to get a bunch of discard, which is nice. Opponent going to get lost, our demon. Ooh, Preacher of the Schism. Ba-dum-bum. Well, I guess we play Preacher and Rakshasa. This is a perfect time for a Preacher since everyone's at 20, so we might be able to get the double trigger out of it. I feel like Rot-Curse Rakshasa, I always want to say Rusalka. Rakshasa is actually one of the best cards in the set. We'll see how good it is. But that was the, ooh, all right, Overlord. That was the reason to build this deck. Opponent gonna make some flyers with Overlord of the Mistboard. We gotta go for the throat. Well, let's crack him up on our Preacher. Well, we definitely want to mill the Cult Conscript. Better off in the graveyard. That means Preacher survives the flyers, and we don't have to spend our go for the throw. Do we attack with Rakshasa too is the question. I think so. Let's get in there. Get it in the graveyard. Wow, another. So many slashers. Opponent gonna block the Preacher. Down to 15. Well, Rakshasa gonna go to the graveyard, which is fine. We can get value out of the graveyard. Eventually, we can use it to make our team unblockable for a turn. Well, let's get down to Slasher. And yeah, let's grab the Cult Conscript too. They don't have double white at the moment, so if they do have Sunfall, they need an untapped white source, which they shouldn't have too many of in their deck. And if they don't have a Sunfall, then we're kind of in good shape here. The downside of the Caverns. Found it. All right, well, they're going to have double white for next turn. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Well, we can't quite win this turn, can we? Actually, better than go for the throat. Maybe we just Rakshasa. Decay the Overlord, decay the token. And then we still have the go for the throat for like a Zur. Yeah, let's do that. Because we really don't want Zur gaining life. That would be the worst. Well, get it. Draw a card. Ooh, Deep Cavern Bat. Okay. Hit ya. Down to 7. Down to 3. I guess we just bat and see if they have. Come on. Only one Wrath. All right. They have Judgment. We got the bat in time. I mean, opponent has a bunch of Overlord of the Mistboars, but they don't beat us. So as long as our opponent doesn't top deck a Wrath here, I actually think we keep Cut Down, because that can kill the flyer. I mean, our opponent can make some blockers, but I think we have enough bodies. Unless they top deck a Wrath. Wow, that was close. That bat off the top was was pretty clutch. The one of Preacher of the Schism coming through. And also Rakshasa. Like, getting in that big attack was because we had the Rakshasa in the graveyard to redo. And now, oh god, Vraska's not supposed to be in the sideboard. Oh, I imported this deck before the set actually dropped, and I used Vraska as a placeholder for that new card that's like sorcery speed, opponent sacks a creature, exile their graveyard. There's supposed to be 4 of those, not 4 Vraskas. I'll have to fix that. But I think we just bring in the discard and then do a little trimming of some of our weaker threats, or our threats that need to cut downs. Actually, not that good either. But some of our threats that need to stick out to be good because they're just going to die in this matchup. Run it something like that, I think. All right, on to game number 2. Demon Stompy, budget Demon Stompy, up against Zur Overlords, or Domain. This hand looks pretty good. Discard on 2, or Rakshasa on 2, into Unholy Annex, which, I mean, that's one of the biggest payoffs for being a demon deck. We should be the best Unholy Annex deck, right? Because we actually have more demons than everyone else. Ooh, more discard. I do not mind drawing discard, although unfortunately, since we're on the draw and we have Pilfer, okay. If they had up the Beanstalk, they could have gotten it down before we could discard it. Yeah, I guess we just bat them. Do a little batting. What are we working with? A Zur and a Leyline Binding. Can they Leyline Binding this turn? So if they play the untap land, 1, 2, 3, they can. Yeah, I think we got to take the Leyline Binding. If our opponent just runs out, okay. Well, now we can Pilfer the Zur. If they just run out the Zur, at least they don't have any enchantments. Authority of the, okay, Authority of the Consuls. I mean, I guess that gains our opponent a little life, but it's not like we have haste creatures or anything. I think we just got to Pilfer the Zur, unfortunately. It'd be nice to get the Slasher down, but Zur is a very scary card. It is the scariest card in our opponent's deck, just because they only really need 1 Zur attack to gain so much life that it undoes a lot of our work. Well, let's get down the Slasher. Getting in a Slasher hit would be huge. These Authority of the Consoles are going to be a little obnoxious. They have undone all of our work so far. Found it. Well, so much for the slashing plan. Found a plays a forest. Well, let's get down that Holy Annex. See if we can start hitting some land drops. Not the most aggro play, but the best long-term play, hopefully. It would be nice to hit a land. Opponent has no trouble hitting lands over there, that's for sure. If anything, our opponent has the opposite prop. Wow, mills the Zur. I guess the Zur is not very good if you don't have a big enchantment. Well, there's a land. How do we want to do this? Yeah, let's just make our demon. Make our demon, opponent. Still at 20. Okay, maybe the Authority of the Consoles are kind of good. Found it down to 18. I mean, I don't think it's going to win our opponent the game, but it is keeping their life total way higher than it should be. Land on Avatar, opponent. Passing. Well, getting hit ya. I think they probably have a land in hand. What would they have in hand that they would not have cast by now? Not much. But they could be holding a Wrath to try to get even more value. Yeah, all right, we're going to pilfer. Let's pilfer just to make sure. Yeah, it's a forest. All right. As we assumed. Well, let's get down the slasher, I think. Opponent, yes. You get to gain 2 life. I don't even think we're going to play the skeleton. We don't really want our opponent to gain 2 more life. I think we win next turn if they don't top deck. Wow, just a land. We win, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. Cut in half to 1. And then Unholy Annex, found it down to 2, down to 1, and, well, I mean, we took down Domain. Our opponent drew a lot of lands and sideboarded awkwardly, but we will take it. Demon Stompy. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh, gotta get out of gold. Seeing just how good Rot-Curse Rakshasa is on a budget, we beat Domain. One of the big 3 in Standard. There's really, we'll see, maybe we see some spicy brews today, but there's 3 big decks, and being able to beat those 3 big decks is probably the most important thing to actually having like a competitive deck in Standard. Ooh, opponent planes, okay. What are we up against this time? Our hand looks pretty good. Lots of removal. Oh, it's tokens. All right. Elspeth seems really good for tokens. I'm kind of addicted to Elspeth. I think Elspeth is actually kind of busted. That card's so good. Oh, it's so good. Well, land and go. Sadly, not the most impressive turn. So the bad news in this matchup is we don't really have a way to interact with enchantments. So if they stick like a caretaker talent, it probably is going to beat us. Opponent even more carrot caking. Were they missing a land drop, though? That's kind of brutal. If our opponent's missing their land drop here, that's good news. Good news for the demons. Demons versus bunnies. The classic Magic matchup. Well, let's get down on Holy Annex. Our opponent might not have their engine, but we have ours. Ooh, okay, there's Rakshasa. One of the weird tensions in this deck is because Rakshasa has decayed, if you attack with it, it goes away. Sometimes we just want to have it sit out to keep draining with Unholy Annex, which is kind of funny. Because it seems like you just always want to smash with it, because it can't block anyway, but that's not necessarily the case. All right, opponent, do we find a land? All the carrot cakes in the world are not going to matter if you don't have a land. Opponent, going to hit us for 2. Oh, if they can kill that Unholy Ant, wow. All right, opponent's just going to pass. Well, let's play the land, and let's do a little hand check here. I'm curious. What hand did our opponent keep with 2 carrot cakes and 2 lands? It's got to be Caretaker's talent, right? It's got to be something where if you get to 3, you pop off. It's got to be. Found it. All right, gonna get lost the Unholy Annex. Well, there goes our card draw. All right, what are you working with? Elspeth, Biza, Overlord, Sire. My God, okay. Well, we'll take the removal spell. That is an expensive hand of Magic cards. I don't know about why are they playing Sire? Sire is such a weird card to play in mono white tokens. I guess you're thinking it's your finisher, but the problem I see is like mono white tokens, I guess they have Overlord too. I was going to say they don't have that many good targets for removal, so you got to kill something, but I mean, Elspeth's busted. We'll see if our opponent actually gets to cast anything this game. That seems to be their big problem. A handful of 7 drops and 2 lands. Found it. Passing. Another Deep Cavern Bat. I mean, I imagine they do have Wraths in their deck, so we do want to kill our opponent before the Wraths come. Yeah, let's play a Bat, see what our opponent drew. At this point, we probably just take the cheapest thing, whatever that happens to be. Another Overlord. Well, I guess we just take Biza. Biza is technically the cheapest, and we don't want our opponent to gain back life. We actually want them to die before they hit their land drops. Because this is another matchup where I think we got to be the aggro, right? Unholy Annex is nice, but I still would bet on mono white tokens with Elspeth and Sire 7 does for some reason in the late game versus our deck. If we're on turn like 10 or something, I would rather be them than us, but I think we're in good shape. Get in it, yeah. Well, opponent's going to take the 6. And, I mean, Slasher should be great here. We have Slasher, and we can almost guarantee getting in a hit. Well, the carrot cakes are kind of awkward because they attack him instant speed. We should be able to get in a hit with it, though, with Rakshasa to decay these tokens so they can't block. Opponent going to sack the carrot cake. Can you find a land? Scry's oh my god. I will say our opponent is very much low rolling. Like, they've scryed 3 times now with carrot cakes, and they're still not finding land number 3, so that is kind of unfortunate. Well, we're going to do it. They can sack a carrot cake to block still, but we're going to decay the 3 rabbits. See if we can get in the Slasher hit. I don't know how long our opponent sticks it out at this point. It's getting grim over there, not hitting land number 3. Get it at ya. Yeah, opponent, carrot cake. So this does let them block this Slasher for a turn. The problem our opponent has is wow, to the bottom again. Wow, opponent got the the roughest draw. I think I would have kept, if there was actually 2 carrot cakes in the hand, I would have kept it too. I wouldn't put Sire in my mono white token deck, but I would have kept it and just trusted the Scries got there. I think our opponent just got the low roll. Well, we'll bring in some discard. Go down what? Probably the Revenant's not super great. This is another matchup. We got to expect removal, right? They're going to have a lot of removal. They're going to have Sunfall or some sort of Wrath. Cut down's kind of not great. As we saw last time, most of our opponent's creatures are kind of big, or they're tokens that we don't actually want to kill with targeted removal. Yeah, we'll go down 1 Cult Conscript and maybe 2. Try it like that. All right, on to game number 2. Well, we're going to keep this, although... So the bad news is, 2 Go for the Throat's not great in this matchup. Good news is, discarding Unstoppable Slasher can actually be a pretty fast clock. Sunfall, Biza, Enduring. Wow, okay. Well, opponent has lands this game. Land number 3 is a good draw. Well, let's do a little pilfering. And, oh, double Biza. I guess we just take Enduring in a sense. I mean, Biza, we can just keep the Slasher on the battlefield. So I guess this isn't that bad. Like, if they play Biza, they don't get tokens, they don't gain life, and then we just kill it and hit you with Slasher. Oh, about it, land. They do get to draw a card if they Biza. So I guess we can just play through the Bizas here. If they're making tokens, it would be a lot more annoying, because that's a lot of chump blocks on Slasher. About it. Biza the Bounding Spring. All right. Draws a card. Oh, all right. We've hit our lands, which is good. Well, let's go for the throw the Biza. Might as well do some duress and see if our opponent drew another Wrath or something. Well, Virtual Loyalty. Do not mind getting rid of that, considering we have no enchantment removal in this deck. Well, slash it down to 9. Opponent. Biza number 2. Back up to 13. Okay, we can chill with the lands now, deck. We can chill. That's plenty. That's plenty. There was a time we were worried about not drawing enough, and now we have reached that threshold. Well, slash ya down to 5. Slasher number 2. Unstoppable Slasher is such a brutal card. It's so brutal. I don't think we've ever had a 3-drop this good that hit for so much damage. Ooh. Oh, okay. Archangel Elspeth. Well, that's good at making chump blockers. Oh, that's actually kind of huge for our opponent. All right, get lost. That is big. That puts our opponent ahead of the curve with this Elspeth now. Well, get down the bat. Map it. All right, hit a land. Map it. How about a non-land? All right, well, I guess we just keep slashing. The magic gods have spoken, and we will slash. Well, if they're going to draw land, a creature land's probably the one they wanted. Elspeth going to make the token. Well, go to combat. do so. There's not really any point in attacking this Elspeth. We can't attack it enough to keep it from making tokens, and it doesn't really do anything else at this point. I guess the only risk is if they play a big creature and do the angel thing, it could be awkward. Like, this is where, hilariously, if our opponent top deck Sire of 7 Death, it actually just wins some of the game. After we made fun of it in match 1, game 1, if they actually top deck Sire, we just can't beat it. So maybe our opponent is actually a genius. It's possible. I would prefer them not to draw, let's say that. Overlord of the Mistmoors would also be an annoying draw now that our opponent's at 7 mana. We really need, like, wow, opponent, you want to aggro? Well, I guess it's Vigilant. I guess they figure they can trade either way. Sure, whatever. Whatever, we'll take the 3 Soulstone Sanctuary. They're doing a really good job of just gumming up the board. We're so close. We need, like, 1 attack. Oh, we're so close to just closing out this game. I guess not 1, now that they're at 5. 3, actually, no. Oh. Okay, wait, is there a chance we lose this now? We might actually lose this. All right, now we're kind of very far. You know what we need is a flyer. We need an Archfiend. Oh boy, another land. A big flyer would be nice. Unholy Annex, Archfiend, something like that to get over these silly lifelink soldiers that never end. Well, opponent gonna block with the soldier up to 6. Well, pass the turn. Might as well hold on to the swamp for now. No Sire, please. Please, I really don't want to lose to that Sire. It would be so brutal. Opponent takes up the Elspeth. Anything but, I'll accept the loss, just not to the Sire after game. Oh my god, more lands. Would you like to block with your token? I imagine so. Opponent gains a life. This Elspeth has done some serious work for our opponent. Like, our opponent would definitely be dead if it wasn't for this Elspeth. The Elspeth is keeping them around. I guess the split up also helped, and the creature land has been oddly good. We're kind of losing a lot of life. We do get 2 slashers again, though, which is nice. Found it. Hits us with land out of 13. And, oh, all right, there's the Archfiend. That is exactly what we were hoping for. Well, attack ya about it. Go do a little blocking. Takes a hit down to 3. And, well, now we play the Archfiend and say, can you kill it? Maybe. It's okay, Bear. It's okay. We're winning. We're winning, bud. We're winning. It's good. It's good. We got an Archfiend now. Bear was very concerned about that Elspeth taking over the game, but I think we're good now, buddy. I think we're good. Caretaker's talent. Scary card, but a little late. Yeah, we're good, bud. We're good. We're good. Elspeth. Yeah, if our opponent had drawn that Caretaker's talent a little earlier, I mean, it really is. Can you hit a removal spell right now? Like, the Archfiend is lethal. Enduring Innocence. And, wow, opponent's tapping out. Might as well draw the card on the way out the door. Copies it. Draws. Bad news for our opponent is... I think they're dead, unless that last card is removal. Archfiend triggers. Well, go to combat. Archfiend, attack, and... Whew. Well, it looked like it was going to be an easy one. Didn't end up being an easy one, but Demon Stompy. Demon Stomping in Tarkir Dragonstorm Standard. This hand looks pretty good, actually. Not especially fast. No 1-drops, no 2-drops, but we got a Slasher, we got a Demon, and we got some card draw, which is good. See what our opponent's up to. What are you up to? KJ? Hey? KJ, hey. Oh, no, gruul. Boo. All right, Clockwork Percussionist. Oh, maybe this is... Huh. All right, well, at least it's not mice. At least it's not mice. Let's see what's going on over there. Deep Cavern Bat. Take a peek. So this is like gruul aggro, gruul delirium. So we can take the card draw. Hopefully we can play around the fear. Like, we have to block the fear, but the bat we can attack with. I guess Audacity or Ren's Resolve are kind of scary. Not super worried about the creatures. I think it's Ren's Resolve or Audacity, probably. The Trample kind of concerns me. Yeah, let's take the Audacity. I feel like the Trample could be an issue at some point. Plus, it's kind of card draw. And Charming Scoundrel. What are we doing with... I love Scoundrel. I feel like Scoundrel... I don't know. I feel like I play that card way more than everyone else. But I feel like it's just like a solid 2-drop opponent getting in. Well, we're not going to block with the bat. So we will take it. Well, play the land, get in, hit ya, and I think we just play Slasher. If they go land in fear, we're kind of fine with just trading off since Slasher's going to come back again anyway. If they don't have Fear, then they kind of can't do anything, right? I guess they can Ren's Resolve to try to hit a land or something, but they can't really attack through the Slasher without something. And Sonoti Scout, okay. Explorers into even more Ren's Resolve. I imagine you're milling that one, right? I feel like our opponent needs to find land. So our opponent wants to cycle this. It's kind of a free kill, but do we want to give them the card? Actually, you know what? We'll take one. That's fine. Sure. Until our opponent starts hitting their lands, I don't think we want to give them extra cards. Actually, let's play the land. We'll play the Archdemon or Archfiend pre-combat. So that way if our opponent does any chumping, at least they take 2. Oh, they have a lightning strike. Okay. Well, that's unavoidable. Sure. Well, we gain 1. We lose our Slasher for now. Good news is it's unstoppable, so it'll be back in a couple turns. About it. And our opponent had to spend their treasure, which is actually kind of painful for them at the moment since... I mean, so this is a little different. Well, there's our opponent's land in a Miglots. This is a little different than like mono white tokens or something. Like, yes, our opponent doesn't have a lot of lands, but I imagine they're a pretty low land count aggro deck. So our opponent running on 2 or 3 lands. Mono white tokens, you never want that. This deck, you're kind of built where that's going to happen some percentage of the time. Opponent's getting it with the Percussionist. We probably, if they attack with both, I think we will kill one now. They hit their land, plus we get 2 damage out of the Archfiend, so might as well. Drain ya. Opponent finds nothing of note. Well, let's play a land. And, we gotta make a 6/6, don't we? We could play, Yeah, all right, we'll do it this way. We'll play the Unholy Annex. We'll play the Rot-Curse Rakshasa. Yeah, I mean, making the 6/6 is tempting, but we got a 5/5 with Rakshasa, and we can start drawing cards, and our opponent's down to 6, which means a single Archfiend attack should close out this game. I mean, I guess I gotta kill the 6/6 flyer, which should not be easy for Gruul, at least main deck. Okay. Hasty, 3/4, Trampler. So they are a Delirium deck, I guess. I guess that makes sense. It's stuff like Clockwork Percussionist, way better in Delirium, right? Because it's an artifact and a creature. So you're like, the same with the weird Fear, like, it's an enchantment and a creature. So I imagine that's the theory. I mean, they can attack us for a bunch, but nowhere near lethal here. But what else can they really do? Opponent gets in, hits us. Well, we will take our 9 and untap and demon ya. And opponent scoops it up. Well, that went pretty well. That was not bad at all. We did benefit from our opponent kind of stumbling around a little bit in the beginning. What do we want against this deck? Oh, our sideboard is fixed, by the way. Let's bring in more cheap removal. And I guess just do a little trim in of slower stuff. Yeah, something like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw. And, well, okay. We got the Rusalka, we got a Bat, we got an Unholy Annex, got some removal. Clockwork Percussionist for our opponent. Yeah, it's in for 1. Well, land and go. I mean, I guess we are going to have to hit another land at some point, but hopefully that happens. Because Hari Revenant seems pretty good in this matchup. Flying Lifelink and Death. It's like Vampire Nighthawk's back. I feel like this is a matchup for it to shine, as long as it doesn't get lightning struck. Although even if it dies and we can get it back from the graveyard on something, I think we just, this is tough. If we play the bad thing and kill it in response and we get no value, let's play the Rot-Curse Rakshasa. And this sets us up, assuming we draw land, to Unholy Annex, start draining. Although this is, Screaming Nemesis, okay. Although this is kind of an example where decay is a little bit annoying. One thing Rakshasa is not good at is playing defense on turn 2. So we're getting smacked. Oh, you really needed a land there. Well, the coast is clear for a batten. Oh, no, pick 2 points and times 2. Okay. Oh, this is going hilariously wrong. Well, at least our opponent doesn't have any more action in hand. They do have this creature land. Yeah, Rakshasa here not looking the best. Although, it would look way different had we hit land number 3 for Unholy Annex, and we were like gaining life and drawing cards and hitting our land drops. So I don't know if it's Rakshasa's fault, although it is worth pointing out, like, it can't block, which Against a deck like this, it is kind of an awkward 2-drop. I'm gonna pick your poison away our bat. And another screen. Yeah, that actually... Well, let's see if we draw land. But if we don't draw land, that pretty much... Well, we draw land. Is that even enough? We can't block the Screaming Nemesises. They have the creature land they can fire. Oh, we're actually just dead. Oh. I mean, because the Screaming Nemesis, if we block it, we take even more damage. I guess we can... I don't think there's a pathway out of this one with the creature land. All right. Well, we found land number 3 just a little late to the party. I think we just run it back, though. All right. On to game number 3, we get to be on the play for this one. Demon Stompy, budget demons. Oh boy, okay. We're not gonna 1-land 1-keep it. Even though if we hit land number 2, this would be a pretty good 1-land 1-keep hand. But after last game, where we lost because we didn't hit lands, I think we gotta ship it. All right, this is fine. Although, again, we do need to hit land number 3. But we have a cut down, which is nice. Slasher's good. Archfiend also good. So assuming we just hit a land or two, we're kind of in business on this one. Pelnet leads on a forest. Preacher's also... Assuming we draw land... Oh, come on, Magic Gods. Not twice in the same match. Opponent. One of the upsides of being a mono black deck is our mana is about as consistent as can be, assuming we just hit our lands. Whew, okay. Swamp is huge, and I think we actually Preacher here. Preacher's pretty good since it'll double trigger. Opponent. Verge. And... Ooh, if you're being hunted, that's actually... that is actually a very nice answer to our Preacher here. We have to block it, unfortunately. Well, there's a Rakshasa. I think we just play the Slasher, though. Also, Slasher is not bad on defense. Death Touch is... a powerful ability, opponent. And Yavimaya Iconoclast. Wow! Okay. Well, we will take the 4, but that means we get to slash you. Boy, I wish we were drawing lands. Well, slash you. Down to 18, down to 9. Play the Rakshasa, play the Cult Conscript, and... I mean, maybe we can just close this out even through... missing land drops once again. I'm surprised our opponent took the Slasher hit. Like, they hit us for 4 so we could hit them for 11. Does not seem like the best trade mathematically, but, well, you know, we'll take it. We do not mind 9 free or 11 free damage with our 2/3. Ooh, okay. Wait, they don't have Delirium though, right? All right, no Delirium. Well, there's the land. Well, let's play the land. Play the Archfiend pre-combat, and then I think we just swing out, right? If stuff dies, we get Archfiend triggers. Ooh, Paw Patch formation. Wow, and it turns on Delirium. Oh, okay, and it turns on Delirium. Yeah, well, get in there, I guess. Found I gonna block. Drops to 4. We lose the Slasher for now. This does put the Rakshasa in the graveyard. But we don't have lethal, because we don't have a demon to go with Unholy Annex. I think it was correct to attack with Rakshasa, although I could see an argument for, since we have Unholy Annex in hand, trying to just keep a demon on the battlefield so we can gain some life. I mean, we are at 16, though. Even if they fire up the creature, I guess we take a big hit if they fire up the creature land. 3, 7, 9? That actually, yeah, Wait, are we actually losing this race? We might be losing this race, actually. That Paw Patch was huge. If we sold the Archfiend, we'd be in nice shape. Clockwork Percussionist. Oh, yeah. And our Slashers, 2 more turns. We might actually be in trouble here, opponent. Are we getting gruuled? Deliriumed? I mean, I will say, if we're going to lose, I do not mind losing to, like, Gruul Delirium. If anyone plays a Brew or something that's not one of the big 3 decks and beats me, I'm pretty okay with that. Outside of maybe, like, there's some annoying control matchups on occasion, but... yeah, I guess we got a chump. Drop to 10. If we play Deep Cavern Bat, technically we can live. I guess that's the only thing we can... I'm still not sure how this gets us to winning long term, but... yeah, if we play Unholy Annex and take 2, we just literally die on the spot. This is still bad. This is still very bad. But we're not literally dead on board. 3, 6... 9, 10, block, gain 1. Yeah, I think they hit us to like 2. Depending on how we block with the bat. Like, are we trying to kill the percussionist? Are we chumping the biggest chumpable thing? I just don't know what we can draw next turn that gets us out of this. I mean, I guess land for 6/6 demon is something, but I think we don't get our slasher back until the next turn. So we don't have that as a blocker. I don't know if we can shut down enough. Found it. All right. Well, we're going to trade. We're going to trade. We're going to go to 2. Opponent, yeah, your percussionist card. Sure. Boy, that's kind of daggery. Audacity. Ooh, and they can play it to the end of their next turn, right? So that means they can trample up like the creature land. We do get to get back the skeleton. It's kind of funny the trample on this wicker fire or whatever is absolutely devastating here. All right, opponent, well, that's kind of unintuitive, but sure. Double trample. Well, get back the call conscript. We find, ooh, sorry, Revenant. We gain 3, we go to 5, but this hits for 8. Yeah, we actually, even through the life gain, are still just dead. Well, I guess you can't win them all with Demon Stompy. Delirium! Showing up in Dark-Hero Dragonstorm Standard. Impressive. Arena's kind of lagging a bit, but this hand seems fine. A little bit of removal, a little bit of card draw. Kusari Revenant, which we haven't seen do much yet, but sweet card. All right. We will lead on a swamp. Let's see what Shave's up to. Shave? No. I refuse. Found it. Oh boy. Self-bounce. All right, well, I mean, we played Domain. We beat him. We're on to Big Neck number 2, which is self-bounce. How do we hold up against self-bounce? Opponent gets their token. Well, we're just going to kill it. Kill that 1/1 otter. And let's play the land and pass the turn. Storm Chaser's talent. Okay. And even more Storm Chaser's talents. Well, let's keep killing otters, I guess. It's an otter massacre here in Dark-Hero Dragonstorm Standard. Also, how do they have Tron of Storm Chaser's talent? Let's get out Unholy Annex. Draw even more Unholy Anni. Anni? What's the plural of Annex? Annexes? It's probably annexes. Black Lotus. Lodi is probably like one of the only words that are like that. About it. Durazes takes Unholy Anni number 2. Annexes number 2. Gets in, hits us down to 16. Well, let's get down and Archfiend to the draws. Turn this pain into some life gain. Another Archfiend. Archfiend's pretty big. Pound it. I'm gonna break our momentum. Get rid of the Archfiend. Well, thankfully there's more where that came from. Pound it hits us down to 16. Well, all right. Archfiend part 2. And Swamp. And Unholy Annex draw. Ooh, cut down. Okay. Cut down's reasonable. I don't think we need to cut down the otter yet. All right, Fear of Isolation. That just means we need to get this Revenant down to have a little buffer for our Archfiend. We don't really want to lose the Archfiend. Actually, we do a lot of damage here, can't we? We kill this. Hit you for 2 down to 13. You know what a good draw would be? The little skeleton dude. Hey! Little skeleton dude. Cult conscripts. Perfect sack fodder for momentum break. Get it at ya. And wow. Wait. Opponents... Were they actually just dead there? They had way... All right, well, I mean, we're going to take it. That was the most powerful Archfiend of all time. Well, now let's bring in our new Sack Graveyard Hate removal spell that is definitely not a Vraska anymore. Do a little trimming of the cut downs. Single Surveyor has not really popped off. It is just a 2 of, so we haven't seen it too much. It hasn't really popped off, though. I feel like this is going to be another matchup. You really want to stick out for a few turns to grow. I don't think that's going to happen against Self-Bounds. What's our last cut? Yeah, let's go down all the sinkholes. Run it like that. And, well, that's a reasonable hand of magic cards. Wait, did our opponent just pass their first turn? Okay, wait, and now there's... Did our opponent keep a 0-lander? Oh, Shavey. Shave, what are you doing, buddy? Wow. Okay. So I know I'm kind of a crazy... Wow, opponent says oops now. Yeah, I'm sorry, opponent. Wow, and they hit a land. I'm getting rewarded. Discard, I guess, a preacher. Play a land. I can't... Wait. So looking at our opponent's hand... Did they knowingly keep a 0-lander? Is this just the craziest wow, they hit land number 2 too. And they get rid of the bat to get back there nowhere to run. Is this gonna work? If this works out, I swear to God. If this works out, I'm still not sure. The idea that you would keep a zero lander is just straight up insane on its face. We're gonna take the nowhere to run with the bat. Play another bat. Take this town. I don't know if they did that on purpose, thinking if we draw one land, this hand is okay. They had to do it on accident, right? It had to be, how do you, I'm gonna stop trying to figure it out. I've just never really seen anyone keep a zero lander in standard before. I know I'm infamous for my one land one keeps. Even I will not zero land keep, not in standard. I mean, it's kind of working out for our opponent, though. They're missing white mana, but they have hit enough lands that they actually can play a functional game. I mean, I don't know if this means they win, because we can also make a 6/6 demon, and they don't have white mana to disrupt it. Wow, what a weird game. The zero land, one keep. And patch your first turn, and then discard a hand size. Are we done? Are we done, Shavy? Oh, maybe it's just Arena lagging again. Arena's been a little laggy today. Let's Ritual Chamber. Make a 6/6. Drain you down to 15. Quasari Revenant. All right, about it. White manas? Death. Well, that was a weird one. But we're almost out of gold. We're so close. Thank you. Thank you, Shave. See what we are up against. Land. Opponent. Oh boy. Gruul. No one drop though. Okay, maybe it's not mice. Well, we're gonna find out. Deep Cavern Bat. What are we doing? Kippy. Are we killing the bat? Torch the tower, right? We still get a peek though. Oh God. All right, well, it's mice. Okay, well, technically, we beat Domain. Here comes Emberheart Challenger. We just somehow beat the self-bounce player who kept a zero lander. How about mice? That's the last of the big three. Can we take down all of the big three decks in standard with budget Demon Stompy? This is actually a tough choice. So opponent has 2 lands. They don't have another land drop. Manifold Mouse is a problem, but in theory, we can kill something with Cut Down. Monstrous Rage is really scary. Do we just take Monstrous Rage? That also can fizzle the Cut Down. Screaming Nemesis is a problem, but they can't cast it. Yeah, let's just take the Rage. Take the Rage, and I think we just kill the... Well, yeah, let's... Do we just kill it now? We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. They don't have the Monstrous Rage anymore. Opponent draws a land. Well, now they might just Screaming Nemesis. I'm actually more worried about the Paw Patch Recruiter with a baby. All right, Screaming Nemesis, sure. The Paw Patch with a baby makes our removal very bad, but let's kill the Emberheart Challenger. We'll take our beats from the Nemesis. Ooh, Unholy Annex. Well, get in with a bat, hit you. Oh, we gotta play a 3-drop, right? We can bat, but then we just waste a mana. Yeah, let's Preacher. Ideally, we draw a land and then we can double 2-drop next turn and use all of our mana. Well, let's see what our opponent does. Manifold Mouse is a incredibly frightening card. Although, if our opponent does not have another mouse... All right, there's the Paw Patch with the baby. I think we're just gonna treat this Nemesis like it's unblockable for now. All right, there's a land which is good. We might as well play it. Do a little attacking. I imagine our opponent just takes it. Yeah, opponent down to 16. Well, let's play another bat. Do a little hand check. Heart for Hero, Manifold Mouse, Hired Claw. Yeah, let's take Manifold Mouse. Heartfire Hero is scarier in some ways, but Manifold Mouse, if you make the baby, we can't really deal. At least we can deal with the Heartfire Hero with Go for the Throat. Cannot do that if they baby up the Manifold Mouse opponent. Wow, everything? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, okay. We are very happy to trade this 1/1 Vampire with a Paw Patch Recruit. That is kind of excellent for us. We dropped to 9, back up to 10. Our life gain's kind of keeping us in this game, sort of. Thankfully, the Screaming Nemesis hasn't turned on yet. Mega Vampire. I mean, this is gonna be close. This is gonna be right down to the end. Let's play the Surveyor and pass the turn. So we got to go for the throat if something goes too wrong. All right, opponent just finds a land. So there's still 1 Paw Patch Recruit. So if we go for the throat, they do get a counter on something. Wow, opponent. Big attack. Well, we definitely want to kill the Paw patch. Do we kill the Screaming Nemesis? So opponent pumps. So if we kill the Screaming Nemesis, they get 1 counter on something, but we save 3. Yeah, I think we do it. They can't put the counter on the Paw Patch Recruit, so we still are going to kill that, which is important. Sure, on the Heartfire Hero, up to a 3/3. We drop to 8. Evolve Sleeper, eh? Well, I mean, go to combat, get in with the crew. We actually triggered a Sinkhole Surveyor. I guess we just make a 1/1 for jump blocking purposes. Well, this does let them grow their Hired Claw, I guess. So opponent goes to 5. We go to 10. Let's play the Evolve Sleeper. I don't even think we play the Annex. Like, all right, opponent's gonna Hired Claw, sure. I think we just level up. I don't think we want to take 2. Like, the only way we lose, I don't know if we can lose. Well, all right, we don't lose to that. A Monstrous Rage would have made it close. And opponent, yeah, scoops it up, and okay. Okay, demons. Better than all, apparently. Well, we're gonna bring in some more removals. Go down some Unholy Annex. A little slow in this matchup. Maybe an Archfiend. Sinkhole Surveyor. A little too painful. Around like that. All right. On to game number 2, we're going to be on the draw against our mortal nemesis mice. My God, the mice. But we're up a game. We're up a game. Can we win on the draw against the scariest deck in Standard? If we beat this, we actually beat all 3 big decks, which would be kind of impressive for a budget deck. Sand looks good. We got our Rakshasa. No one beats a Rakshasa. Actually, this might be the mythical never attack with Rakshasa game. Like, this might be play Rakshasa and just have it sit out to keep Unholy Annex on opponent. For a hero. Very scary card, but thankfully, we have a cut down. Get rid of that mouse. All right, mouse 1 down. Opponent. I'm going to play a Pain Land. And an Innkeeper's Talent. Well, play the land and get down Rakshasa. Not good on blocking, but going to be good with this Unholy Annex at some point. I mean, Innkeeper's Talent's very good. And I imagine our opponent brought it in because they saw a bunch of removal in game 1. But I would much rather face down an Innkeeper's Talent than a good 2-drop there. At least it's not immediately killing us. Against this mono red deck, you just want time. That's all you want, is like, give me another turn or 2 to try to get my stuff set up. And the red deck's really good at not giving that to you. But, wow, opponent's just passing? Okay. But Innkeeper's Talent is a kind of slow card, and I think we're going to do it. We're going to Unholy Annex. And I think the Rakshasa's worth more just sitting out and giving us a demon. All right. Oh, that's what they're doing. Questing Druid for a land and a Heartfire Hero. But I think it's worth more just sitting out and letting us gain life with this Annex for now. Eventually, we'll probably attack with it, but found it. Heartfire Hero. Pretty good with the Innkeeper's Talent. Here comes the threats. The threats are coming. Questing Druid time. Opponent's just going to level up the Innkeeper Talent. Little do they know we have 0 removal in this hand. We do have a Deep Cavern Bat now, though. But Slasher might be better. Let's just slash. I mean, we do got to be concerned of just dying. Thankfully, we're going to be at 23, and hopefully they can't deal 23 to us, but Heartfire Hero and Pump Spells, like, it can deal a lot of damage, even through a blocker. We will see opponent. Land number 4. Screaming Nemesis. Okay, well, that can shut down our life gain eventually. Well, we are going to... Actually, you know what? This sounds crazy against mono red, but we're going to take it. Monstrous Rages if you want. Yeah, all right, opponent rages. I mean, we get to... Can we win now? We get to hit them for a lot. Is it a lethal lot, is the question. So we hit them for 5, 6, 7, down to 7. Half of that down to 3, 2, 1. We can put our opponent to 1, but we can't win. So in that case, I guess we're just going to attack with the Slasher. Hit you to 6. Play the Deep Cavern Bat. Make sure there's not another Monstrous Rage. Torch the tower. All right, we'll take that. And then we'll just leave up to Shoot the Sheriff. We can pay for the ward. I think we're good. Opponent goes to 4. I mean, the Rakshasa never going to attack, and it's probably dealt, what, 6? Dealt 6, gained us 6 so far just by sitting on the battlefield. Like, if we didn't have Rakshasa, we lose this game. Like, our Unholy Annex puts us down 6 life, and our opponent's plus 6 life, and we just lose. So even though it's not going to attack, just sitting out like a janky artifact or something is going to be enough. Well, I think this is the window. Before it gets more counters, kill the Heartfire hero. And take our beads, but I think even if they top deck Monstrous Rage, we live, right? Yeah, that's their best top deck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could hit us to 1. Wait, did they act? Oh, I was kidding. I wasn't being serious. Okay, well, 2. We go to 2 and get them on the backswing. And, well, budget demons. We took down all the best decks at standard somehow. Sweet. So what do we learn this week about Demon Stompy in Standard? And record-wise, the deck kind of crushed it. We went 5-1 with the deck. Our one loss came to Gruul Delirium. And more importantly, we actually beat all of the big 3 in Standard. We took on Domain and beat Domain. We took on Self-Bounce, which that one was a little bit weird because our opponent for some reason kept a 0-lander at one point. But we did beat them. And in game 1, we beat them fairly. And then we also played Cruel Mice and beat them too. So it's not like we beat up on a bunch of brews. It is worth mentioning we are out of gold now, but we were playing at gold because we got bounced back down with the season reset. So maybe this was not like the strongest players we've ever played against, but still, our budget Demon Stompy deck played the big 3 in Standard and took them all down one by one. And I gotta say, the deck actually feels very solid. Like, we got a good curve. Our new cards felt really good. Rot-Curse Rakshasa. We got to see that be effective in multiple ways. We got to see games where just attacking with it was really good because it got in a ton of damage, help us close out the game quickly, do the aggro thing. We got to see games where having it sit out on the battlefield with an Unholy Annex and not attack with it actually won us games. That's how we beat the Gruul Mouse deck, right? Is we just let Rot-Curse Rakshasa sit out there. Sure, we couldn't block with it, which was a little annoying, but if we were gaining 2 and drawing a card each turn with an Unholy Annex, that was fine. It ended up straight up winning us the game. And then we also got to see Rot-Curse Rakshasa renewing from the graveyard. We saw this against the Domain deck to be able to take out all of our opponent's blockers, get through the big mess on the battlefield, and smash our opponent to death. So Rot-Curse Rakshasa, I think the card is the truth. On the other hand, we did see the downside, which is our one loss to Gruul Delirium. We're a little pinched on mana. We played Rot-Curse Rakshasa on turn 2, and the fact that it couldn't block was super annoying. Like, it just sat there as our opponent smashed us to death. Really, the problem was we never drew our third land, or didn't draw for several turns, so that was a real issue. But it is worth mentioning, again, super hardcore aggro. It can be awkward sometimes that it can't block, but really the card felt super, super strong. The rest of our new cards, they didn't make a huge impression. Sinkhole Surveyor, we only really saw it once. Quasi Revenant, I think we only saw it once. They are just 2-ofs in the deck, but they didn't make a huge impact. But overall, I will say, the deck felt really solid. Unholy Annex is great. The big flyers are great. Rot-Curse Rakshasa is great. So if you like being aggressive in smashing your opponent and you like demon synergies, I think this might be a pretty solid budget option for Standard. So anyway, that's Demon Stompy. That's our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.